Hello lovelies and welcome back to An Abundance of Sophie, and on this episode of An Abundance of Travel I'm throwing it back a year to when I travelled to Dublin, Ireland for a few days. So I flew in around dinner time on Monday, and by the time I got from the airport into the city centre, checked into my hostel, grabbed some food, it was dark, cold, a little bit rainy, so I called it a night and headed to the hostel to turn in. But the Tuesday started bright and early at dawn when I boarded a Wild Rovers tour and headed out to see a little bit of the Irish countryside. We started at Glendalough. Apologies for any pronunciation in this video. I don't know how to say these things and it's been a year since I was there. But we started there where it was just this gorgeous, lush, green countryside that is synonymous with Ireland. Unfortunately, it was pissing rain, so it was very damp, but I headed out. We had a little bit of a walk around the cemetery with our tour guide, and then he pointed us in the direction of the lakes, and we headed down and kind of had a wander around. I took some photos and then returned back to the tea house, had a pot of tea before we climbed back in the bus and continued on our way. We also stopped off at a sheep farm and saw a demonstration with a sheepdog, which was quite cool, and then stopped in a town called Kilkenny for lunch. The place was beautiful and I just kind of wandered the streets and the little alleyways, took in a bit of the castle grounds and this gorgeous little Christmas kind of display that they had set up, which was very cute and very festive, and I was very much enjoying myself. After Kilkenny, we headed back to Dublin City. By the time we reached Dublin, it was kind of around 5:30, but because it's winter, it was dark and quite cold, so I wandered the streets a little bit and then headed to the Celtic Nights dinner and show. Now I am a huge fan of Irish dancing, as I discussed a couple of years ago in a video where I talked about Riverdance. You can find that in the card. One day I'll get it right. But I love it. So I went to this show. It was like this big dinner and then song and dance performances, which was incredible. Here's a snippet of that now.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside.
And that was it for the Tuesday. On Wednesday, I went for a walking tour with Sandemans, which I highly recommend. It's one of the free walking tours that operates in most major cities, from what I can tell, at least in Europe. And I think that they're fantastic. The guides are always incredible. I always tip really well because they work so hard for those tips, so they definitely deserve it. After the walking tour, I went to Trinity College to see the Book of Kells and the library. Oh my god, this library was phenomenal. It was breathtaking. It was gorgeous. It was just maybe the highlight of Dublin for me. I love a good library. After that, I just kind of wandered. A lot of this trip was, I didn't have any plans when I landed in Dublin, which is quite unusual for me. I usually plan everything. So I just wandered around, took in Grafton Street, did a little bit of shopping, stopped for a couple of coffees along the way, and was just really cruising it, which was really good and I needed it. After dinner in Temple Bar, I went on a ghost tour, which was really corny but very fun, and I had a really good time. And then that was the end of Wednesday. My last day in Dublin was Thursday. So I checked out of my hostel. I was only traveling with a backpack, so I just kind of took that with me. I did one of the hop on, hop off tour bus things. So I just kind of did laps of the city, jumping off at different points to see things. And I jumped off and went to the Modern Art Museum, but I just kind of wandered through the grounds. I didn't go into the museum itself because I was just waiting around for my tour time to go to Kilmainham Jail. I really hope I said that right. Yeah, and then I went on a tour through the jail. A lot of the people arrested from the Easter Rising were held there and executed there, so that was kind of like the main focal point of that tour, which I found really fascinating, and I didn't really know much about it, so it was really good to learn. And then after that I went to the War Memorial Gardens, and then I headed to the airport to come home, and I was ready. Got to the airport with just enough time, and then I found out that we were delayed because this was back when some drones were being flown around Gatwick Airport, which kind of threw everything into chaos. We were delayed a couple of hours, ended up flying into Stansted, and then I had to kind of work out how to get back to my university campus from Stansted, which was a bit of an adventure at the end of quite a nice trip. But anyway, this was kind of a short one. Hopefully by the time I edited it, it was a short one, but thank you for watching. I'm gonna try and smash out some of these videos because I did do a really big month-long trip with lots of locations last January, so I want to kind of get those videos out to you guys. I've been putting it off and putting it off, but it needs to happen, so hopefully by saying it here that forces me to do it, but I'll stop rambling. And thank you all for watching. As always, please like, comment and share this video. It really does mean a lot to me when you guys do. And for a greater abundance of Sophie, because I always forget to actually upload on this channel, you can find me on my social medias because I actually do post there fairly regularly. But thank you once again, and I'll see you next time.